How's it going, guys and girls of the YouTube world? It's your boy, the Gil, coming back to you live. Well, not live, but here, alive. Here to bring you episode 3 of my Veve brand awareness series. And today's company is going to be Capcom. I'm sure you guys have heard of this company at some point or another. I've heard of it too, but I never really looked into it, kind of deep like. And yeah, I'm gonna do that today, and it's kind of exciting. Like, I feel like Batman, doing all this research and making connections and stuff, starting to get fun. It's like a book report that I actually want to do. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Capcom is a Japanese video game developer and publisher. It has created a number of multi-million selling game franchises, with its most commercially successful being Resident Evil, Monster Hunter, Street Fighter, Mega Man, Devil May Cry, and Dead Rising. Established in 1979, it has become an international enterprise with subsidiaries in North America, Europe, and Japan. There's the logo if you haven't seen it before. Let's keep going. In 1989, in January, the old affiliate company Capcom Co. merged with Sambi Co., resulting in the current Japanese branch. The name Capcom is a clipped compound of capsule computers, a term coined by the company to describe the arcade machines it solely manufactured in its early years, designed to set themselves apart from personal computers that were becoming widespread at that time. The word capsule alludes to how Capcom likened its game software to a capsule packed to the brim with gaming fun, as well as to the company's desire to protect its intellectual property with a hard outer shell, preventing illegal copies and inferior imitations. Here's a list of Capcom's top 10 multi-million selling franchises as of December 31st, 2020. Resident Evil with $107 million in sales. Monster Hunter with 66 million, Street Fighter with 46 million, Mega Man 36 million, Devil May Cry 23 million, Dead Rising 14 million, Marvel vs. Capcom 9.8, Onimusha 8.4, Ace Attorney 8 million, Lost Planet 6.3 million. Capcom started its Street Fighter franchise in 1987. The series of fighting games are amongst the most popular in their genre. Having sold 46 million units, the series serves as one of Capcom's flagship franchises. That same year, the company introduced its Mega Man series, which has sold 36 million units. The company released the first entry in Resident Evil's survival horror series in 1996. The series has achieved financial success, selling 107 million units. Following work on the second entry in Resident Evil series, Capcom began work on a Resident Evil game for the PlayStation 2. Radically different from the existing series, Capcom decided to spin off the game into its own series, Devil May Cry. While it released the first 3 entries exclusively for the PlayStation 2, the company bought further entries to non-Sony consoles. The series as a whole has seen sales of 23 million units. Capcom began its Monster Hunter series in 2004. The series has seen sales of 66 million units on a variety of consoles. After remaking Resident Evil games 2 and 3, Capcom is now remaking Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 has a larger development team than the series' previous 2 remakes, including support from Capcom's internal Resident Evil 2 and Devil May Cry 5 teams. Many original Resident Evil 4 developers remain amongst these teams, including producer Hiroyuki Kobayashi. A remake is being directed by a newcomer at M2. Platinum titles. Capcom compiles a list, which is updated on a quarterly basis, of games that have exceeded 1 million copies sold, called Platinum titles. The list contains over 100 video games. The following list contains the top 10 titles by sold copies as of December 31st, 2020. Number 1, Monster Hunter World, 16.8 million copies. Number 2, Resident Evil Biohazard. Number 3, Resident Evil 2, the remake. Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, Monster Hunter World Inborn, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 5, Resident Evil 2, Monster Hunter Freedom 3. Now I want to focus our attention on the Monster Hunter series specifically, because I think I found some connections to Monster Hunter and Veve that could be very interesting in the upcoming months. So Monster Hunter is a media franchise centered around a series of fantasy-themed action role-playing video games that started with the game Monster Hunter for PlayStation 2, released in 2004. Titles have been released across a variety of platforms, including personal computers, home consoles, portable consoles, and mobile devices. The series is developed and published by Capcom. So pay attention to what I'm about to read here, guys. I'm going to tie it into a few things in a few minutes. The games are primarily action role-playing games. The player takes the role of a hunter, slaying or trapping large monsters across various landscapes as part of quests given to them by locals, with some quests involving the gathering of a certain item or items, which may put the hunter at risk of facing various monsters. As part of its core gameplay loop, players use loot gained from slaying monsters, gathering resources, and quest rewards to craft improved weapons, armor, and other items that allow them to face more powerful monsters. All main series titles feature multiplayer, usually up to 4 players cooperatively, but can also be played single player. So the important parts from here is the gathering of a certain item or items, and capturing monsters, as well as gaining loot from slaying monsters, gathering resources, and quest rewards to craft improved weapons, armor, and other items. So now I want to teleport over here to the Ecomi white paper. I want to read this gamification section for you guys so we can make some connections here. Ecomi Collect in-app gaming allows users to interact and play with their digital collectibles they own, creating a further level of engagement. A range of single and multiplayer game experiences can be played with Ecomi Collect using the augmented reality features. Ecomi Collect users gain access to game experiences based on the collectibles they own. For example, owning a digital collectible can grant access to play AR games, which can be played multiplayer against other Ecomi Collect users who own digital collectibles. As users play through the Ecomi game experiences, they can earn OMI tokens, experience points, Master Collector, and find ranges of common to secret rare digital collectibles and virtual goods. Ecomi aims to produce game content as bite-sized playable adventures, which are released on a regular basis, both as generic to Ecomi and in partnership with licensors. So that's very interesting to hear or to read, because when I hear stuff like that, we can make some correlations just between that and this Monster Hunter series right here. So in Monster Hunter, the hunter is tasked with missions to hunt and capture various monsters, and on successful completion, let me erase that, the hunter is rewarded with in-game money, possibly gems or OMI tokens, and loot, representing parts of the monster. These parts, along with other resources collected while on missions or through mission rewards, can be used to forge or upgrade new weapons and armor, which can then be used against more powerful monsters and tackle more difficult missions, completing the mission or the compulsion loop. So I want to jump to another part of Veve's Medium article regarding the forge or upgrade new weapons and armor part. Here's a little clip I found while reading the Medium articles. Veve Digital Collectibles gives you incredibly high quality 3D models, augmented reality showrooms and collectible displays, static and animated characters, and here's the important part, guys, the ability to upgrade, augment your digital collectibles, meaning add costumes, actions, scenes, etc. So that's where the upgradable weapons and stuff can come into play right there, I think, guys. And yeah. If we teleport over here to David Young's Instagram, you'll already see Monster Monster Hunter confirmation. He says, becoming a Monster Hunter. So this is one of the animated GIFs or animated NFTs in beta mode right here. And I can see potentially single or multiplayer mode where we team up and have to like take a monster down, and when you defeat a monster you can add it to your NFT collection, or you can earn Omi or gems to buy upgrades for your character, or anything like that. I mean, the possibilities are endless, but you know, here's proof right here. Like, it's already happening. They've already got the characters, and this is probably just one of many. So that's where the gamification can come into play. And if you're not familiar with Street Fighter, I'm going to play this quick clip so you guys can see what that's about. So yeah, that was Street Fighter. Yeah, so when it comes to gamification and Veve, I think the possibilities are endless, and Capcom could be the company that they used to initially start their gamification, and from there it can go on to Nintendo or whoever else they decide to bring on board. So big things are in store for Veve and its investors and its users. If you guys don't know who Mega Man is, here's a image of him, and he can easily be gamified. I'll let you guys do some research into that if you're curious as to how he can be gamified, but it's very easy to do some stuff with him. And here's an image from the Resident Evil series. Pretty much it's like a zombie outbreak game where a select few survivors pretty much fight them off. So those are like the two main characters right there. So it would be interesting to see what they would do with the Resident Evil series if they were to gamify it. So I do believe that concludes this episode of Capcom. Just to be clear, this is all speculation. You know, I could be connecting like random dots that, you know, don't lead up to anywhere, or I could be right. Either way, you've heard it here first from the Gale. Capcom and Veve's partnership is a very interesting one indeed. I'm not a financial advisor, guys. Just a guy with a lot of opinions. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.